You don't have to clap anymore, dude.
What it do, baby?
Welcome back to the Contested NBA podcast. I'm your co-host, Ethan Cope. I'm here once again with Max Tepper and Alex Toma.
What it do?
And today, the NBA's been super busy recently. So we're going to get, since free agency kind of just started yesterday. Did it start yesterday? Yeah, it started yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
By the way, today is November 21st, Saturday. So just to give you guys some context.
So we're going to get into free agency later. But what we did want to talk about is the NBA draft, which happened 2 nights ago, I think. And
well, first of all, I just wanted to say, the most recent thing that happened in free agency was, what was it? the Ibaka signing to the Clippers. But free agency just started, so we're going to save all the free agency talk until towards closer to when the season starts.
Yeah. Anyways, there have been some big trades, so we're going to kind of separate that from free agency and also get into the NBA draft today. So, should we just start with the draft?
Yeah. I don't have a ton of thoughts on that. I don't know. Did you, Max or Ethan?
No.
There's some pretty.
Well, I was honestly people kept telling me this draft is weak, man.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I know they were saying it's a good role player draft, but I kept watching these dudes get drafted. I'm just
really good role player draft.
I'm just they're out of the league in a few years. So many of these guys, so many of them out of the league, and they're crying on TV for no reason because they're going to be out of the league in a few years.
I mean,
that's not to say.
Why you gotta hate on my guys getting drafted? Jesus.
No, that's not to say that a lot of them will be really good, career NBA players, but I'm not holding my breath for most of them.
Well, just so we can talk about it a little bit, I mean, the first 3 picks went exactly how everyone thought they would.
Yep.
Not surprised at all. Anthony Edwards to the Wolves, James Wiseman to the Warriors, and Lamelo Ball to the Hornets. Nothing much to say there. I think, they all fit their team's needs.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, I don't watch college ball like that. I don't know. LaMelo Ball is probably not going to be the best out the 3. I don't know if he is or not, but I don't know. He's an exciting prospect, man. I'm pretty hyped to see him just launch shit in Charlotte with no one on his team.
Yeah,
I think it's really interesting that they chose a point guard, considering they already, or at least a shooting guard that can play. I don't know.
Yeah, but
he's kind of on the bigger end.
He's a point guard.
He's on the bigger end of.
He's bigger than
guards.
Lonzo.
Yeah, and Lonzo's 6'6", so
yeah.
But either way, I think it's really interesting that they chose a point guard, considering they have 2 point guards. They have Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier. So I don't know what their plan is there. I think, Alex, you were bringing up in the group chat earlier that they might get rid of Devontae.
I think it was Terry Rozier, and I think Ethan sent that.
I was going to say, I think you could definitely play Devontae Graham at shooting guard. I don't think that would be a problem. But there also have been Terry Rozier trade rumors, specifically to the Clippers, Alex.
I don't think it's happening. Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening, but I'm assuming they do have some type of plan in place to trade Terry Rozier after drafting LaMelo.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's a good pick for them.
Yeah, LaMelo is my favorite pick for sure.
I think LaMelo definitely has a way higher ceiling than Devontae Graham or Terry Rozier. I feel like that's kind of a given. But he's also box office, so I mean he's already selling. I don't remember the stat I saw earlier, but he's already selling tickets.
Hey, Hornets have nice jerseys too. That LaMelo Ball jersey is gonna be.
Yeah, and Michael Jordan's the owner. I think
they're finally getting into the direction where I wouldn't say that they're a playoff team even in the East right now, but they're going to be a team that is not an eyesore, you can watch, you can throw on a game and you're like, okay, I genuinely enjoy seeing watching this,
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
I also think what was I going to add? Just to get a few more names involved, I think Tyrese Halliburton falling all the way to 12 to the Kings was crazy because I don't think he should have fell that far. But I also don't understand that pick after signing De'Aaron Fox to a max.
I guess it's just best player available. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, but
That's
just adding a playmaking guard after signing De'Aaron Fox to a max like that, I thought was weird.
At that point, the question you have to ask is, I don't know, is the player that's available for my fit that much or better than the one that's best available? And I think at that point, you just take best player available unless the dude at the fit is better than point guard. So
right, and maybe they might package him or something. I don't know what the Kings have up their sleeves. If it's anything like the last 10 years, not much. But either way,
I thought a really surprising pick was Patrick Williams to the Bulls at 4th. I don't think he should have been that high.
I think he didn't start in college.
Yeah, no, he was a bench player. So
no, I think hot take. I think that's a really good pick for the Bulls. I mean, first of all, he already knows what it's like to be a bench player. One of the main things with him is like people said, yeah, he was a bench player, but there's a lot of promise in his game. I think the Bulls made a great pick because he's probably going to be on the bench. He's in a role that he's familiar with, so the adjustment isn't too bad. And he is a skilled player, and I think he can help the Bulls a lot.
Hey, I'll take your word for it.
There's the insight for Patrick Williams. I also think, I guess, I don't know if I'm being biased talking about the Celtics, but I think a really underrated pick after doing some research was Aaron Nesmith at 14 to the Celtics.
Max is pumped.
What was I going to say? He shot 52% from 3 last year, and he's a stretch 4. So from what I've seen,
sample size?
What do you mean? He played the whole year.
Yeah, but how many threes did he shoot?
Oh, well, I don't know, but it was 3rd in the nation.
There you go. Damn, Max just
why you gotta be so negative?
He's not gonna get any playing time.
I think he'll get some playing time off the bench, especially since he's a lottery pick. And I think he's a good stretch 4, which is kind of what the Celtics needed off the bench. Because if you look at the Celtics roster last year, I mean, off the bench, you had Enes Kanter and Robert Williams. Those are 2 clear centers. They really can't play any other position. You had a bunch of guards like Marcus Smart, Romeo Langford, Brad Wanamaker, and then trying to think of who else was on the bench really that got playing time. I mean, Carson Edwards is a guard.
He didn't get no run though.
Taco Fall is a center. Like they really didn't have like a wing, and I think Aaron Nesmith as like a stretch 4 can kind of fill that bench like wing role. So I think it was a good fit in terms of need for the Celtics, and I think he can provide solid minutes off the bench.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it, man. I'm not the draft expert,
but his sample size wasn't enough for 3 points.
I was gonna say, I don't. This is probably where you're going. Max, top 2.
Yeah, is that what you were thinking?
Oh no, I was gonna mention some draft day trades, but we could talk about Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman.
Yeah, so Anthony Edwards to the Wolves. I don't have much to say about it.
He likes football.
Yeah, he's gonna retire and be a football player.
That dude's a weirdo.
He's strange.
Yeah, that answer is definitely not like something I'd want to hear as a GM. They probably asked him that, and he was like, "What?"
I think he has a high ceiling, low floor. Like he's got like talent, but like I could see him just making like a lot of dumb decisions on the court. It remains to be seen. And then James Wiseman is probably what?
I was just gonna say, to prove your sample size thing wrong, I'm just saying, he averaged 8.5 threes per game.
Oh
my goodness! 52% of
that's fucking good.
He attempted 8 threes a game.
I can't remember who said it. Yes, I literally just looked it up.
Those are
I can't remember who said
numbers.
But there was this NBA analyst that said Aaron Nesmith is by far the best shooter out of this draft. So I got high hopes for him, but we can continue. I just wanted to bring that up again.
That's pretty good. That's a good sample size.
Not even to be like a dickhead to you, but you were wondering about sample size, so I wanted to bring it up. But
whatever.
Yeah, no, he's got a strap.
You're still not winning the championship, and the Lakers are, so it doesn't matter to me. Anyways, so James Wiseman.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, don't remind me. Ibaka. No, I'm just kidding. James Wiseman is probably one of the rookies I'm most excited about watching.
Yeah,
I think he obviously, he's a center. The Warriors always needed a strong a strong paint presence. James Wiseman brings that. I think he and Lamelo are probably going to be the best players in the draft. I think James Wiseman, I'd probably bet more money on James Wiseman than Lamelo, to be honest. But I mean, I think he's going to be absolutely great at Golden State. Like that's really all I have to say about it.
It's just unfortunate that he got blue balled by the NBA, or not the NBA, the NCAA. So we couldn't see what he could do in college. But
it's fun. I see like conflicting shit on him. One, like I see people that think he's just like a regular rim runner, just like your typical center, not going to be anything crazy. And then there's like scouts that say he's a hybrid of David Robinson and Chris Bosh, which is absolutely insane. So I don't know which one he is. I don't know if he's going to be like a perennial all-star, but I don't even he'll be a solid center.
He could be like a Rudy Gobert type. Maybe not as strong defensively, because being as good as Gobert defensively is pretty good. But you can see him getting like 14 and like 10 every night, 14 and 11.
He's not going to do anything crazy, at least for this year, but he'll definitely provide some solid numbers for the Warriors.
Yeah. And he has his role cut out. I mean, that space is open for him to take over. And plus, I mean, it's the Warriors, man. They're top to bottom. They're one of the greatest franchises. So they're no doubt going to develop the most potential out of him as they can.
I don't even I definitely haven't done enough research on this draft at all, but
but
that David Robinson and Chris Bosh hybrid sounded fucking crazy. I don't know about that one. Yeah, that's insane.
That one was nuts. Oh man.
But
so do you guys want to get into trades now?
Yeah, yes, I think we should do the draft. I don't know. Do you guys want to mention the Sixers draft day trades and possibly Luke Kennard?
I mean, if you want to talk about Luke Kennard, go for it. He's on your team.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about the trade overall?
It's cool. I mean, you guys saw my first at first I thought it was just
what's the
six?
What was the trade again?
It was Shamet to Brooklyn. Detroit got the 19th pick, Rodney Magruder, and the Clippers got Luke Kennard and 4 unprotected second rounders from the Pistons.
What the fuck?
So those picks they're probably going to be like in the low 30s because they're the Pistons and they suck.
Oh my God.
What?
How do you?
I don't know.
What kind of?
I didn't know about the second rounders. I know about the other pieces.
That wasn't there originally, and I woke up and the Clippers press release was like, we've acquired Luke Kennard and 4 unprotected second rounders from Detroit. I was like, oh, that just made the trade a lot nicer.
I could understand 1 second rounder, but god damn, 4 second
rounders.
That's gonna be 4 really early second round picks.
And I just like that because now the Clippers could try and package that at a trade deadline and try to
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. How do you?
Yeah, but just to briefly say on it, I mean, Shamet and Kennard are both snipers. Kennard's has a better resume, I guess, up at this point in the league.
I like Kennard off the bench. I think it's a solid piece.
Yeah, and he does more with the ball than Shamet. Shamet's more spot up, but Kennard could dribble a bit and play in the pick and roll. Nothing crazy, but he could do more with the ball than Sham. And I think Shamet's a great fit for Brooklyn around KD, Kyrie. They need shooters. Shamet's not the greatest defender, but he hustles. So I think it was a good pickup for them, and I don't know what Detroit's doing.
Yeah, I never really bought into the hype on Shamet, to be honest. But I do like Luke Kennard a lot. Not anymore because he's a Clipper, but I mean it's a great pickup.
Shaman's still a legend for game 2, though.
Yeah, that's true. Luke Kennard, obviously, I think is a much better scorer than Shaman. I mean, he's not even like a scorer, but obviously he's a much better scorer. He's an absolute like knockout 3-point shooter. Like you 40%. can't give him an inch of space. He can do a little bit, off the ball. He can, work his way around a little bit better than Shamet, that's for sure. And then you factor in the 4 second rounders, which the Clippers are obviously just going to use for, trading. Whew, God, I don't know what the hell the Pistons are doing, especially with their like draft picks and then signing all those big men.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
They signed 3 or 4 big men while having Blake on the roster still, and
I wonder if
Wood walk.
I really wonder if the Clippers like already agreed to the deal to have Luke Kennard come over, and then the Pistons were like, by the way, do you guys want like just 4 second rounders? Here they are. Here, just have. Dude, it's crazy. Shamit's gonna work nice in Brooklyn, and yeah, so basically Brooklyn did okay.
Hopefully, Clippers got the best part. Off to Houston.
Let's perfect trade piece. But
wow.
I don't know. I don't know what Detroit is doing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who did the Detroit Pistons in our NBA purgatory, but goddamn, did they prove them right, Alex?
That was Alec.
I mean, Jesus.
That was like the greatest work I've probably ever done on the pod. Like the expose was great, but
that was a fun podcast for sure.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna go ahead. You?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the other only significant draft day trade I could think about were the 2 moves the Sixers made.
Yeah, for trading Josh Richardson. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, you good. So Max, I'll say it again when Ethan comes back, but we could kind of start to get going.
Oh, he's back,
and he's back.
Ethan, Kylie's dog was being annoying.
You could start on it, but before we do the Josh Richardson, I think we should talk about the Horford and Danny Green trade that happened before.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, I think what the Thunder ended up getting was.
Well, we should start with the Lakers side of it. So obviously the Lakers.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the Lakers had the 28th pick. They sent Danny Green in the 28th pick for Dennis Schroeder, which, oh my goodness, I really
trade
love
for the Lakers. Great
trade. The only thing you're giving up really is defense.
Another Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, perimeter defense and a pick.
But you know what? Dennis Schroeder was extremely efficient. I mean, he's a really good scorer, spark plug off the bench. He can close for you.
He'll definitely be in that closing lineup with Bron and AD.
I love it. I love this. I love the trade.
I don't even think you really. I was just gonna add real quick. Yeah. I don't really think you even lose that much on defense. If you look at Schroeder, he brings that energy, and obviously he's not like an all NBA defender like Danny Green once was, but
I still
think it's solid defense.
Yeah, I would still say there's like a decent gap between Green and Schroeder's defense, but
either way,
yeah, Schroeder brings more to the table. Than,
for sure.
Yeah, and also he fixes the ball handling problems that the Lakers had, like every time LeBron and AD went out, took a rest. So that's really nice, man. I really dig the pickup a lot. On top of that, so then what happened? They packaged Danny Green
to Philadelphia for Horford and a first.
Yeah. First of all, I don't know how that money adds up, but I guess it's fine.
I told you, it absorbed into the Oklahoma's cap space.
Yeah. No, I get that. Daryl Morey.
Yeah, the 76ers won that. I don't care if they had to attach a first rounder to get Horford away. They got Danny Green, who's a fit. He'll defend. And
the biggest part was just getting rid of that Horford contract. I mean, they
frees up so much space.
Danny Green's expiring after this year.
Yeah, I mean, they'll like Daryl Morey is a genius.
Analytic man.
Also, so is Sam Presti, though. I mean, 17 first-round picks until 2026 or whatever.
That's too many picks, man. Like, Jesus Christ. He could fill the whole roster.
I know, but they can trade. They can use so many of those picks for trade value.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. They're going to get a few stars from there and then trade the rest.
They're also going to juice up Horford.
Genius.
They're going to juice up Horford, give him good numbers, and then they'll ship him off for a first round pick to some team. And then
so
that's crazy, man. Two really good GMs making a trade with each other. Just
and Terrence Ferguson went over to Philly, but
whatever.
I like how there was news about the Terrence Ferguson shipment, and then Alex was like, "He athletic."
That's pretty much
it.
Yeah. And then the other trade the Sixers made was Josh Richardson for Seth Curry.
Yeah.
So now Doc can coach his son-in-law after coaching the dude that cheated on his daughter, which is a nice little plot twist.
I think that was a good trade for both sides. I think adding that kind of, I don't know, Josh Richardson's more like, is he a wing defender? I feel like he's more just like a guard.
He's a defender. He's a 3-and-D guy, and Dallas kind of needed some defense for sure.
Yeah, and Philly needed that shooting, and Seth Curry off the bench is probably great for them, especially now that they've clearly surrounded Ben Simmons and Embiid with great shooting. I mean, you can say all you want about what Danny Green did in the playoffs or in the bubble for the Lakers or whatever, but he's still a great shooter at the end of the day. He just had a bad bubble. But
his numbers dip in the playoffs, but the thing is with Danny, you still can't leave him open. Like, you have to respect him. You can't just like sag off on him the whole game.
Yeah. And
Seth Curry, I think Philadelphia made a great choice in getting Seth Curry because he had so much more ball movement, so much more possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't from 3.
Yeah.
No, he's a great shooter. He's a great shooter, but he can do so much more than that too.
It just sucks because he's so overshadowed by his brother Steph, obviously. But Seth Curry is a super underrated basketball player.
Yeah, he is underrated for sure.
Yeah,
but we don't talk about it enough, but he is a really good passer. He can kind of fit into like that point guard, shooting guard role, so he doesn't need the ball all the time. He can, move off ball for you. But also if Simmons is off the floor, he can control the offense and you're going to be completely fine with it. Mm-hmm. He can shoot, he can create for you, he can create for others, so that's a really good signing. You're losing a little bit of defense, but I think you're getting Danny Green definitely makes up for it a lot.
Yeah, I give the Sixers an A+ for their draft day.
They did a great job on
just their offseason overall.
To say it, but they did a good job.
Another trade was the last like big trade on draft day. I don't have too much on it. It was the 25th and 28th pick to Minnesota for, or no, the Thunder sent 25, 28, and Ricky Rubio to Minnesota for number 17. Which I got Ricky Rubio's back to where it all started, and
I think Ricky Rubio's a solid pickup.
Solid.
There's some trades, and then the two biggest trades.
Well, there's also if you want to do. Oh, I guess Steven Adams to Pels is part of the Drew to the Bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say after the draft day thing, we kind of get into all the trades. I have it listed down here, but I think the first one we should talk about is the first big domino that fell, which was CP.
Yeah, I mean
that is no complaints there
on either side, really, either for the Thunder and the Suns. I mean, the Suns, you had CP3, that mentor. Obviously, what CP3 brings to the table. He's one of the best point guards ever. And you pair him in that backcourt with D Book, and I mean with DeAndre Ayton maturing and hopefully not missing 25 games again
for roids.
But I mean, I think the Suns are going to be such a fun team to watch. I love the CP3 to the Suns trade. I think it makes them super interesting. I think it really just, as a whole organization, just, he'll bring in tickets, sales, because obviously Phoenix isn't that big of a market in sports.
But also it gets Devin Booker competing because, I mean, if they just kept it going, he's not going to even finish out his contract. Now it shows Phoenix is like, okay, well, we're starting to be competitive again.
Yeah.
They're not perfect. A lot of their moves this offseason have been a little bit questionable. But
their draft pick was questionable.
Yes, their draft pick, and specifically. This CP3 trade, is exactly what this organization needed. The only problem is CP3 is getting old, so he's going to retire in the next few years. But for right now, for this year, the next coming season, it's a great trade, and you're going to have D-Book competing in the playoffs for once, which is great.
Yeah, and
hopefully
the Suns, it looks like they gave up a lot of picks, but like when you really, I'm not going to go into it, but when you really do, there's like a shit ton of protections on them. So
yeah,
they didn't like trade their whole future for 35-year-old Chris Paul.
And what they gave up like Kelly Oubre and Ricky Rubio for the trade. I mean,
yeah, I just hate how CP wanted to be a Clipper and it didn't happen. That's all I gotta say. Fuck.
As an NBA fan, after being a Celtics fan, I love to see CP3 to the Suns. I think it's going to be super.
It's going to be
entertaining
fun,
watch.
and they have that fourth seed potential. I know some people might think that's outlandish, but I think it's pretty normal.
I think that's their ceiling. I think they'll be competing in that 4 to 6
round.
Yeah, I'd say 4 to 6 for range for sure.
There's just the West.
But they're a bona fide playoff team especially after what we saw in the bubble, that they actually do have like another layer to them.
Yeah, the only problem first off, they're not getting past teams like the Lakers or Clippers, or really like the Nuggets for that sake.
I think they compete with the Nuggets.
I think they compete with the Nuggets. I don't think they beat the Nuggets yet. But besides the point, I really think their ceiling is just the second round. But you also got to factor in, I mean, the Jazz still have their core for the most part. The Mavericks, obviously, Luka is going to take that next step. You still got the Rockets if for whatever reason Harden's still on the team.
Yeah, Tillman Fertitta's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over in Houston. But I mean, the West is just so stacked. I mean, you got the young Pels team, which personally I don't think is a playoff team as of right now.
Yeah,
but I mean, you still got to look out for them.
Better than them.
I mean, the Blazers. Got
Rocco.
Yeah, the Blazers got Rocco. Exactly. Was that a trade?
Yeah.
Yes.
They traded like 2 first-rounders to Houston.
Yeah, I think Rocco is a great 3-and-D player that really helps the Blazers team out. So now you got to watch out for them, especially after bringing Melo back and trading back for Enes Kanter. I think the Blazers are still most likely a playoff team. I mean, the West is just stacked. That's my point. But I would be surprised if we don't see the Suns in the playoffs, at least competing with,
Yeah, barring injury, they should be a lock for the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially like with what CP3 did with the Thunder. He has so much more talent in Phoenix right now.
He's like CP3 does a lot of great stuff for centers. He did it for DeAndre Jordan, Tyson Chandler in New Orleans. He got Clint Capella a big contract, so DeAndre Ayton's going to be eating with Chris Paul.
Max, you got anything to add?
No, I'm excited to see what happens.
With that being said, then let's move to this trade that turned into a 4-team trade with Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday to Bucks.
So I'm gonna try. I think it was Drew. It was Drew Holiday to the Bucks, and then I think Bledsoe and Steven Adams are with the Pelicans, and then the Thunder received George Hill, Darius Miller, first-round pick from Denver, protected, and 2 second-rounders. So
I mean, Bucks did a great job.
Yeah, but we got to talk about the picks that the Bucks gave up to the Pels. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I know they gave an unprotected pick in 2027. Well, so we'll see how.
2027 is so far away.
I know, but that's the point. If Giannis and Drew Holiday could be a free agent at the end of the season, like he could opt out, and both Giannis and Drew will be free agents.
I think they'll both resign, because I mean this is a sign that the Bucks are really trying to pair Giannis with championship contending pieces.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday I think hasn't been in too many winning situations. This will be a change. He's going to want to play on the high level with Giannis, who's an up and coming, hopefully all time great. So
And other than the picks,
they gave up a lot, but I mean they're probably going to keep Giannis, so it's like, did they give up a lot?
I was going to say it's 3 unprotected first and then 2 pick swaps, but the draft picks is just a bad thing because honestly, giving up Eric Bledsoe and George Hill for Drew Holiday is not that's like you do that without question. It's a significant upgrade, in my opinion.
I also just think like I know this. I'm just reiterating it at this point because we've talked about it, but I mean, really, just the whole. I think if you include the picks, I think they overpaid a little bit for Drew Holiday, but I think that's just to ensure that Giannis stays, and which makes sense because you really can't. As much as we've bashed Giannis for what he did in the playoffs this year and how he can't shoot, I mean, he's a once in a lifetime type of player.
Yeah.
So
and that's not going to last forever, hopefully.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, it's just
shutting down.
If Giannis says he wants this trade, you do it.
Yeah.
Like if Giannis is like, I want Drew, like you have to do it. And if
also, I don't even think necessarily that Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, for this matter, are even like second options on a championship team. I think they're probably like third.
Yeah, I think both of them. I think both of them are like solid third options.
Yeah, but pairing them together and then also having Giannis is, I mean, that's basically just.
They're in the race.
I think it's just a huge upgrade, and it makes them more competitive again with teams like the Heat and the Nets and the Celtics, which I mean they already were in the first place in my opinion, but I mean adding Drew is just a really, really big upgrade.
Yeah, and then did you guys have any more thoughts on the Drew part? I was gonna move on to the Pelicans side of it.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious what went down. I think Drew Holiday he does all the things Eric Bledsoe seems like he does, but
on
Bledsoe a much higher level.
Shoot, though, Bledsoe's like a whole liability,
especially in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't think Drew Holiday has that problem in the playoffs. I think he brings out a very different dynamic.
Drew Holiday is just a glorified Bledsoe.
He's Bledsoe with a green light.
Yeah,
But no, Drew Holiday's an elite defender. He could hit the three. Yeah. He could get his own bucket. He could facilitate the offense. And
there's really nothing he can't do.
This was a guy that clamped up Damian Lillard and swept the Blazers. Along with Anthony Davis, of course. But, Drew gave Damian Lillard the business. So
the business.
Yeah, the business. He put him in jail. But
overall, just such a solid pickup for the Bucks. And I know they gave up.
The picks is scary, but hey,
they gave up.
Lakers and Clippers did it too. You got to do what you got to do to get the star.
Yeah, the only thing about the Bucks now is
worked out for one side more than another, but it's fine.
It's just this whole situation with Bogdanovich. I don't know what's going on with that anymore. They might get fined and have picks taken from them.
Yeah. Before we go to the Bogdanovich part, I just want to mention real quick for the Pelicans side, Steven Adams. He could be. I think that's solid for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's much else to it.
Yeah, he could be. He could protect Zion a bit on defense.
I'll be seeing Steven Adams.
He can catch him
instead of Jackson Hayes.
My favorite tweet was
thank God.
Our defenders are gonna die when they get hit by Zion Williams and Steven Adams picks all game. So those are two strong dudes setting picks.
Especially Steven Adams, bro. Steven Adams is a brick wall.
Jimmy Butler was Steven Adams is the strongest dude in the league. But yeah, Pelicans, they're young. They got the picks they need. They got Steven Adams, who is a placeholder at the center position until they start to get rolling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess now you can bring up the botch Bogdanovich situation. Everyone tampers, but the Bucks got caught. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't understand what's really going on with that situation. I also don't think, I think tampering is the stupidest shit ever.
It is.
I just don't see the problem with it. If they want to talk, they want to talk. If they want to keep quiet until something gets done, they want to keep quiet until something gets done. I mean, I just don't
I understand maybe during the season when there's games and shit, but once the finals end, people are gonna talk. If you expect no one to do anything up until free agency,
yeah, I mean,
I think it should be
that makes
after the
no
finals.
sense.
Yeah, I think it should be after the finals. It's fair game to call whoever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like having to agree upon something. I just here's the thing. So players obviously get deals done before free agency starts. So would that not be considered like tampering?
It should be like when like
Yeah,
12
but that's the
contracts
thing.
come out 5 minutes into free agency.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Like they definitely already like decided on those deals and they had already been talking before.
it's so
Like if
dumb.
that's going to be if that's not going to be if that's god damn. If that's not going to be considered tampering, I don't think agreeing to trades before they happen should be either. At least, after the finals, like you said, mid-season, that makes more sense, but
Yeah, that's shady.
I feel like it's just, you go all out in the off season and it doesn't really matter.
Max?
I just don't understand what happened because there's this report now that Bogdan didn't actually want to go to Milwaukee.
Just bodied the city of Milwaukee.
What? I'm like.
But then another report came out after that.
So there was tampering between the Kings front office and the Bucks front office, and Bogdan wasn't in on it. Dude, I don't know.
But then a report came out after that Bogdan had agreed that he wanted to go play for the Bucks and that he had been in contact with Giannis that week.
Yeah, I think the Bucks just kind of stopped pursuing Bogdanovich so they could kind of like get some like slack taken off of them and not to be like have the investigation go further, I guess. Because if he ended up signing with the Bucks, you better believe that they would have gone harder on that investigation.
Yeah, I just don't really understand.
But my favorite tweet was the Kings didn't even notify Bogdanovich because they assumed he would be happy just to leave Sacramento. It didn't matter where he went.
Yeah, hopefully they can get Buddy Hield out of there.
Yeah. Buddy Hield and Luke Walton hate each other from everything I've seen.
Shit, I would too if I was Buddy Hield.
God, Luke Walton sucks. You used to defend that man, Max.
Yeah, I can't defend him anymore. I would give him the benefit of the doubt that not everything that happened with the Lakers first season with LeBron.
Yeah, you obviously can't that Braun injury.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, when you don't play your literal 3-point champion in the final minutes of a game, who you just paid like close to $100 million,
you're tripping.
That's so strange. Like it seemed like the organization and Buddy Hield didn't like each other, and then they like agreed to a huge ass extension.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Yeah, well, young man got to get paid.
Vladdy got something up his sleeve.
Vladdy ain't even there anymore.
He's not?
No, they hired someone. I don't even know who they hired, but he resigned because I guess he was tired.
The most functional part of the Kings organization is their Twitter. And that's the truth.
I hate it. When the sorry ass teams are good on Twitter, it sucks.
Dude, yeah, and then oh my God, there was that whole thing where Shams like accidentally tweeted out the Orlando, and then the Orlando Magic were like, huh? And then the Sacramento Kings Twitter thought that like every team would be in on it, so they were like the Sacramento, but they were the only ones. Yeah. Like, oh my God, bro, you guys are so cringe. Yeah, they just attack Laker fans on Twitter, but can't even win any games against them.
The Kings are just
they can, but.
Right, the Pacific Division, it sucks that Clay went down, but before Clay went down, it was like Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, Suns, and then like the Kings are just like
wait. You have 4 teams that like are really looking good, are fun to watch, competitive teams. 2 of them like real contenders, and then just way,
just all the way down are just it just keeps going down and down.
Yeah. If you think you got out there, when you think you found them, you just got to keep going further and further down.
Yeah, man. Well, on the topic of the Warriors, this was like the last biggest trade. Warriors got Oubre to kind of replace that Klay Thompson void, I guess, which is fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's fine. He's a fine player. That's about it.
Yeah. It'll be a good piece off the bench.
I know there was that whole thing where like the Suns were able to go 8-0 without him, so he doesn't really like improve a team by that much. I haven't watched enough Kelly Oubre to kind of see like what is it about him that like doesn't improve a team.
Yeah,
because I mean his numbers are pretty good. Everything that I've seen so far shows that he's pretty good. So
I think he's a little lackluster on defense.
So yeah, I mean I must be missing something. Obviously, if they're playing the Warriors,
That's
I'm going to see a lot more of him.
That's my only guess. I mean, I feel like he was pretty solid with the Warriors, and he really elevated his game. But who knows, man?
With
the Warriors, you mean the Suns?
With the Suns?
Oh shit! Yeah, my bad.
I think he'll be good with the Warriors. Yeah, it's interesting that they have Oubre and Andrew Wiggins.
I was gonna say, so now their lineup is Steph, Oubre, Wiggins, Dre, and James Wiseman.
I don't think they'll start Oubre, honestly. I feel like he'll come off the bench.
Yeah, maybe not, but I don't know. Like I could see the Warriors is like a weird situation. I could see Steph going crazy, having like one of his best years, and they snag like a top 4 seed. But I could also see them like being a team that's barely squeaking in the playoffs at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like the West might be so stacked that they maybe are like a 7 seed.
Yeah. Are we good? Are you guys good on the Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say like, I mean, I don't know how much Oubre moves the needle for them. He obviously doesn't fit in. You know, he doesn't cover for Klay completely, but it'll definitely like reduce the damage that missing Klay for a whole season would do.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think that's pretty much all the major trades we went through.
I was gonna say we should. I feel like we should discuss one thing, and that's the Houston situation with the Westbrook and Harden trades.
Oh, I mean, there's
it's a mess
conflicting reports. There's so many conflicting reports that like this person wants out. You know what? And it brings up a whole bunch of questions. So far, what we know from Houston is they're most likely not going to trade anyone until the season starts.
Yeah.
So they say.
I don't even think they could trade Westbrook anyways. Like he's stuck there.
I feel like the only spot for Westbrook now is the Knicks.
The Knicks are like I saw like a Westbrook Fair and Gordon trade. The Wall Westbrook swap was like kind of ridiculous. I don't even.
Dude, yeah,
but now John Wall is saying that he wants out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And I don't if Harden wants to go to the Nets, I don't know. Maybe he could force his way there. But if Philly, I feel like Philly could offer a shit ton more if they wanted to regarding a Harden situation.
For sure.
They can throw like Ben Simmons in there, and that's more valuable than any piece. And
yeah, it's more valuable than like 4 like top 50-ish players and some picks. So
yeah.
But
I mean,
I think that wraps it up. If we have no more thoughts on the Harden deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing happened yet, so
yeah, exactly. I don't want to.
And it's too confusing to like break down completely.
But also, I was just gonna add real quick. I mean, the whole Westbrook to Charlotte is probably way out of the window.
Don't bring Westbrook to Lamelo, please. Don't do that.
Would be.
I just love the report. Michael Jordan wants Westbrook.
I was saying Michael Jordan is considered one of the GOATs of players, but he's considered the GOATs of bad GMs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if he wasn't like
Kwame Brown,
if he wasn't
Beller, Adam Morrison,
if Michael Jordan wasn't the player that we know him as, like he would be blackballed by the NBA.
Yeah, he would not have a job.
The better the player, the shittier executive. Magic, Michael. So
except Larry Bird. Larry Bird was
pretty good. Larry Bird was actually really
Larry
good.
Bird,
LeBron's pretty good.
And Jerry West. That's true. Hey, shout out LeBron, bro. He's monopolizing the league. Goddamn.
Late GM.
Him and Clutch Sports.
Anyways,
over.
He got his Clutch Boys, which we will talk about in the next episode. And I'm pumped.
On that note, we will be departing from your guys' speakers or headphones, whatever you guys are using to listen to this. Heads up to all you fans out there, fantasy season is starting back up. So this is a reminder to get you and your friends to start a fantasy league because
it's fun.
We will definitely be talking about fantasy this year.
It will creating a fantasy league. It will create some fun. I don't know. I don't want to say memories, but some fun shit will come up if you have a group chat with a bunch of dudes in a fantasy league.
We will definitely be talking about fantasy at some point this year. I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a fun episode for, I don't know, whatever reason. But
we are the contested crew, as well as our special guest from the last 2 episodes. We are all religious about fantasy basketball, and we hope that you guys share the passion for it that we do. We're gonna share tips with you, and we'll work fantasy into our episodes.
Yeah.
But anyways, on that note, from the Contested NBA podcast, I'm Max Tepper.
I'm Ethan Cope.
Alex Thoma.
And this has been the Contested NBA podcast. I'm sorry, I'm so tired.
No, you're good.
If there's anything you disagree with us on, go ahead and contest it. Make sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. We'll see you guys next time.
I'm sorry.